Joseph Garrett. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, born and raised in North Philly. I started playing right in the Sunny Hill. It was called the Future League. Matter of fact, we started the Future League. We played in the first championship game, North Philly against South Philly, and we won. When you get to high school, once you become in high school, you play in the Sunny Hill League. Then once you go from high school to college, it's a college league. And then once after college, you play in the Baker League. So I did all the leagues, you know. The first high school was Roman Catholic, which I was the center that led Roman to their first Alhambra Catholic League Invitational Tournament that we won the championship, and also played in a Catholic League championship game. And I had the opportunity to do that in 10th grade. After Roman, I went to Simon Gratz. And Simon Gratz was the school because I got in trouble at Roman. I had to leave Roman. So I just went to a neighborhood school just to get in school. But because I had a basketball talent, I played basketball, but I did good at Gratz, you know, as far as a player. After playing a season with Gratz, I made like second team all public and was able to play in the first, they call this the bicentennial game, okay? Playing at Gratz, I knew then where I wanted to go, I needed to be on a bigger stage. And I got help from Clarence Tillman and the coach Goldenberg because of their 1977 schedule was very, very hard for them because some of the games they had to play that coming year, our senior year, it would have been hard to beat some of them teams that they had to face. And they said, with me coming there, you know, they can win a national championship. Somebody made an article and said that I was like the fish that saved West Philly. I come to West Philly, we win the national championship. Not being ranked #1, we actually played a championship game for the national championship in Pittsburgh, and we won that. Well, this is the writer, Gary Smith, stated that West Philly banks on Garrett too. They just didn't bank on Gene Banks. You know, Gene Banks he's the most profound athlete I ever seen. He's just as big as Wilt Chamberlain to me here in Philadelphia. He was one of the greatest basketball players I've seen, you know, besides my friend Lewis Lloyd, you know, and I had to go against Lewis. You know, Lewis had 32 points and 20-something rebounds on us, and we just couldn't do nothing with Lewis. So the biggest game ever played in Philadelphia as far as high school in this time and era was West Philadelphia against Overbrook. You couldn't even get on the block where the school was. People were on the rooftop of the school because they had a glass roof looking in at the game. Now, we played Overbrook again for the championship, and this is the game where, you know, something happened when Gene couldn't play. So everybody thought we was gonna lose the game because Gene wasn't playing. And so when Gene didn't play, then I had to do other things. Well, I had about 7 block shots when I had about 15, 16 points. Okay, about 19 rebounds. You know, Clarence Tillman had to do what he does. And Darryl Warwick had to play. Then Mike Powell, who they don't talk about. Now here it is, Gene Banks and the Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings, okay? And this right here is one of the most awesome articles that was written, you know, about West Philadelphia high speed boys. What make us the #1 team that ever played, we never played no big games other than Lewis Lloyd right here because this is where Overbrook was, right here with us. We went to their hometowns and played them and beat them. No, we won the national championship in 19. See, that's the difference. Schools are being ranked. Gratz were ranked #1 when they had Rasheed Wallace. They didn't have a tournament that proved who was the national championship, but they did in 1977. I have a publicly national championship and a Catholic national championship. I'm the only player that ever did that. This was before the McDonald's. This is the diaper dam. There were two games. There was the major game and there was a preliminary game. Albert King, Irvin Magic Johnson, Kelly DePuca. Okay, now this is the Pennsylvania team. Eugene Banks, Sam Clancy, Joe Garrett, Darryl Warwick, and Jeffrey Clark. I went to the University of Texas, El Paso, and played under the great Don Haskins that led the first starting black basketball players to the NCAA championship. You see the movie called Glory Road? I came there 9 years after that took place, and the first starting Black Five met me at the airport when I was getting my visit. That's Rolando Blackman right there, UTEP against Kansas, really, because we beat them, and I was high score. Yeah, I had left UTEP and winded up with Kevin Beeford at Fairmount State. And I had the tryout for the Clippers. They were the San Diego Clippers. I had a personal invitation from Gene Shue, who came to North Philadelphia in a limo to my home. And the crowd was all outside, so I was there. I tore my ACL. Matter of fact, Mike Brooks was over there, Joe Bryant, Lloyd Free, all these guys, Kent Benson. All these guys were there, man, and I was glad because Michael Brooks and Joe Bryant was from Philly. I played in Argentina, I played in Belgium and Holland, but I spent most of my time in Argentina. I led the country in scoring the first 3 years, okay, 94, 5, and 6. And the other 6 years, okay, I was in the top 5. This right here, that's me playing in a game over there. This is me dropping like 26. You know, I averaged 30, 33 points a game. Here's another article I was able to keep around. This is me dunking on a couple guys underneath the basket, showing some of my big man skills, you know, my mobility around the basket. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna be able to play basketball all the time, and God gave me the opportunity, man, to be able to put the Bible in my hand and preach the word. You know, God blessed me to obtain. I got a doctor's degree in biblical studies. I got 5 units of certification in clinical pastoral education. So I'm well qualified. You know, I was a chaplain for 5 years in the Williamsport Hospital, you know, and I just celebrated. God blessed me to celebrate 25 years of pastoring, you know, and basketball was the vehicle to lead me from one court to his court in praise. Joseph Garrett from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, born and raised in North Philly.